YouTube and Rumble family, what's good? What's happening? Welcome to True Earth Tuesday. I'm here, I'm alive, and here I'm alive. Hey, and we're here. All 10,000 of y'all. It's like, let me stop. We already know what it is. Hey. And we're going to do it right today. Day. Yeah, family. So, quite a bit going on today. We got Diana Spice. What's good? What's good with you? Nano CBD, as usual. Megadeth, 777. What's happening? What's going on, family? Welcome as usual to True Earth Tuesday. You know how we do. You know how we get down. Yes. I don't know if you guys know of the news of some of the latest going on. First of all, how was everybody's week? How's everybody's weekend? I don't want to just be jumping into stuff without first kind of warming up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully everybody's weekend was good. Everybody's weekend was kosher. Man, I'm good, bro. Nano CBD, I'm good. I just want to make sure you guys are straight. Today I've got good internet because I made sure I'm getting good internet today. So I'm sure this internet today, right now, is a lot better than internets in the past that I've had. You know what I'm saying? Because my streams, they haven't been the best, strictly due to the my lack of bandwidth. So we cleaned it up. We're making it right today, and I really appreciate y'all coming out and doing this with me, especially since I promised y'all some good old internet. Half Warrior, what's happening, brother? Man, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's always a pleasure. So yeah, as of late, I don't know if you guys know, but let's kick it off with something that I didn't put in the title, but I'm going to discuss it. Emmanuel Macron. Is anybody not familiar with the president of France and his latest issues that he's got going on with him and his wife and the media, apparently? Huh? Yeah? So you guys know, right? I'm not really going to bore you with my details, okay? But what I am going to do is I'm going to present to you what Taboo Conspiracy propped up today. So what Taboo Conspiracy had available for us is, Jesus, my God, I tell you what, we're living in some very, very interesting times. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you might not have seen some craziness like this, right? A lot of people would have been a little bit discreet and all that craziness, but like, oh my goodness, my God, the craziness that's going on now between Mr. Macron and all that stuff, it's just, all right, you know what? I'm talking too much. I want to show you guys a few clips first, and then we'll roll into why I feel they're kind of doing my man dirty like this, which me personally, I don't like him too much, but you know what it is, right? You know what it is. So go ahead, send this to y'all. Truth shall set you free. What's going on, homie? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Share, boom. There we go. So we're going to roll into this one real quick.
We've heard from the French president saying that Israel must stop killing babies and women in Gaza. Emmanuel Macron told the BBC in an exclusive interview at the Elysee Palace that there was no justification for the bombing, saying that a ceasefire would benefit Israel. While recognizing Israel's right to protect itself, he said, "We do urge them to stop this bombing in Gaza." He's been speaking to the BBC's Europe editor, Katya Adler.
We've had weeks of aid organizations sounding the alarm about Gaza. And so you've now said that.
Exactly, Diana Spice. So, yeah, 48 and 16. Oof. Anyway, let's continue.
Humanitarian pauses in fighting aren't enough, and there needs to be work towards a ceasefire. Are you disappointed that other world leaders aren't joining you in that call, like the US or the UK?
No, I hope they will. And let's be clear. I mean, I was one of the first leaders to call Prime Minister and President of Israel after the terrorist attack, the 7th of October. We clearly condemn this terrorist attack and this terrorist group and recognize the right of Israel to protect itself and react.
So before we continue with that video, here's the thing that I begin to notice, right, with especially a country like France. France, I don't know how old my audience is. Me, I'm 45 years old, right? When I was in 2001, when 9/11 first happened, I was 22 years old. I was 22 going on 23. And like, of course, like everybody else, I was in shock. But it was probably 2-3 days after it happened. And I'm going to kind of relate this all to you. But France was the first one to say something don't smell right. So halfway, okay, so we're around the same age. You got 12 years on. But France was one of the first nations to say something don't smell right. Okay, yeah. France, and usually that's how it is. Like, France is always the first to say everything is a conspiracy. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I apologize. That's my bad. I should have brought the boom down. But France is usually the first country to say that what they're seeing, what they're experiencing is some kind of conspiracy. So, okay, Megadeth 777, you're kind of young. It's all good. It's all right. So I've got a wide variety of people in here, right? Of all different walks of life, of all different ages. But one of the things that I can remember is how France was one of the first nations to spearhead the conspiracy that is 9/11. And then that's where you started hearing, oh, don't mess with the French freedom fries. You know what I'm saying? You started hearing the term freedom fries. Don't call them French fries no more. Start calling them freedom fries. So now that we've, we haven't really moved past 9/11 because that's still stuck in a lot of folks' minds. It's definitely still stuck in mine, especially being a New York resident. But France now, if you see that video, this is from 4 months ago. So I guarantee you, France, to some degree, didn't agree with anything Israel was doing to Palestine at all. Right? And so now the leader of Israel is coming out his face and saying what it is he's saying, so fresh a wound that's October 7th, right? This is like a month later, and he's coming out and saying this. He's probably said other things, I just couldn't find any, but let's continue.
But day one, we say that this reaction and the fight against terrorism, because it is led by a democracy, should be compliant with international rules, rule of war, and humanitarian international law.
Good luck trying to get Israel to do anything that's correct. Good luck trying to have Israel follow some rules, but let's continue.
And day after day, what we saw is a permanent bombing of civilians in Gaza. And I think it's very important to say the whole story. But I think this is the only solution we have, this ceasefire. Because it's impossible to explain we want to fight against terrorism by killing innocent people.
There you have it. There you have it. I don't like French myself. I'm sorry, Metal CBD. I understand your wife is French. All right. I have French lineage myself. My parents being from Haiti, definitely have French people in my family, right? But France is a ball stopper, right? And, but the thing is they're honest in their shortcomings. That's one. Two is if other people are messing up, France is going to be like the first group to call people out on their BS, right? And man, I Guyana Spice, I apologize. I'm sorry that it has to be that way, but we're going to call things out as we see them. I mean, you don't have to agree, I understand, but please, I welcome all criticisms. You know what I'm saying? And I welcome all opinions. I don't hide anybody's. I don't try to block anybody or ignore anybody. I welcome all opinions. So it's just crazy that this is happening, right? And this was 4 months ago. That was 4 months ago. I want to continue with a little bit more as to what Macron has been discussing, right? So let's see. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I think you can. Yeah, you can. Okay. Da, 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 da. Haitian music. I love my Haitian music. I'm sorry, y'all. Love my Haitian music. But check this out.
France's President Emmanuel Macron has opened the door to recognising a Palestinian state without the support from Israel. The French president says recognition is no longer a taboo as international concern grows over Israel's handling of the war in Gaza. France, along with most of the EU, has long supported a two-state solution, but always has negotiated peace with Israel.
So, wow. So there it is. There that is, right? And then fast forward.
To win this war.
Okay. So fast forward. Here we go. So fast forward to today. I made a video in regards to what we're discussing right now, right? Talking about why this is a big deal. But you see this right here. It says Brigitte Macron, a man. All right, here we go. This is from Tapping
This is
Conspiracy.
crazy.
This is beyond crazy, okay? And so before we start with that video, let's go to the comment section. Okay. Shannon Emerson, what's happening? Pesos was good. All right, it's good to see you guys. All right. Okay. It's good to see y'all. I definitely don't want to ignore my people. You guys are my people, and I love you very much. So, Nano CBD says 89% of Congress are dual citizens. This is stuff that I've heard. I've been doing a little bit of some research into it, Nano CBD, and it is hard to find. You have some people, you have even Reuters coming out and saying that, you know, fact check, it's not true. But then again, Reuters is the same people that say that the cocoa shot is good. You know what I'm saying? But Guyana Spice, guys, introduce yourselves to Guyana Spice. She's new to the channel. Guyana Spice, introduce yourself to the family. These guys are here every week like clockwork, and they do their thing. They're awesome. But you say, I might have to step out if Israel comes out. I get it. I get it. You say you're just joking. All right. Who pulls France's strings? That's a good question. Nobody knows, right? But France is, I'm not going to call them weak, but they are a nation that they will back the stronger country every time, right? So they will cut and run from you every time. What is that, 2 nano? 99% of Israel, yeah. Were forces to take the shot. Yeah, that's right. They were forced to take the shot. That's right. That's true. That's a good point. So, Levant, Middle East needs control by Israel, maybe. Yep. Towards Palestine, they do. They've taken that piece of land. That's true. You shall set you free. Back. Look who owns Israel. Then you understand why so much cash goes there. Exactly. Because ultimately, it looks as if it's funny to say that Israel owns us or do we own them, but it looks as if that Khazar region, that Khazar empire runs us. Because if you think about it, the major facets that make up any society, right, that make up the United States especially, look at things like, you consider things like entertainment, the judicial system, like NOCBD said, our own government, right? The judicial system, the medical system to a degree, right? Mainstream science, a lot of mainstream science. You have to see who's running those institutions. And then entertainment, Lord knows, entertainment. Now, I think I said Hollywood. But if you're going to run those institutions, then you're menting the mind, right? Government, mental, govern your mental. So those guys, if they can run media, if they can run government, they're going to steer the head. So if anybody's familiar with fighting or getting into fights or anything like that, if you take somebody by the head and you move that head around, you basically control the entire body. So it's funny to say that Israel, such a small country, has a penchant of controlling the American psyche. Right? I mean, we've seen it with the movies, we've seen it with, entertainment, Hollywood, sports, right? Sports is a big part of of our entertainment diet as well. To where I'm going to get to the video, I'm over there chopping it up with the gums, but sports is a big part of our entertainment diet. They understand that. That's why a lot of their agents, sports agents, what are they? They're Khazars. I hate to call that, but I mean, it's the truth. I had a good friend of mine, come up to me, and he understood some of my conspiracy theories, and he even said, "You damn right we run Hollywood. You damn right we run entertainment." And I said, he was Jewish. But he said it like he saw it and he understood it, and I just backed off. I didn't say nothing else. I was like, he got it. You got the power. You know what time it is. Do I blame them? I can't blame them, man. If they're winning that way, then they're winning that way. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to these. Dirk von Franz translates mind control. Exactly. Israel is a big player. I wouldn't say owns anybody, but big banks, finances, big loans. Yeah, that's true. Brian Cash. Hey, Brian Cash, what's happening? Never seen you before, but welcome. Good to have you, bro. Macron to address its nation on 3/14. Lots of significance. The Ides of March. Yes. Now, Ides, I thought Ides stood for the 15th. Solacon, Earth is level, and we know it. That is true. Derp is correct. Yes. Sports is used as a distraction. It's the absolute truth. Truth is saying some truth. That's right. Yep. Listen to Mark Passio on what on earth is happening, and it lays it out. Satanic mind control. Yeah, the satanic mind control is mind-boggling, but I'm going to continue with the video. I'm going to shut my trap. Let's do it.
I'm talking crazy.
By the way, this is from Taboo Conspiracy right here. Make sure you guys sub. Make sure you guys like his content. You know what I'm saying? Let's show this brother some love, man, because he does some good work, yeoman's work. Let's do it.
Crazy. Stop everything. Pay attention. If you're driving, pull over. Just kidding. You don't have to pull over. You can keep driving, but you just prepare yourself for what is happening right now in France. So let me give you guys the background. Emmanuel Macron is the president of France. He is married to Brigitte Macron. Okay. Their love story has always been extremely weird and extremely creepy. She is 70 years old, allegedly, and he is just 46 years old. So already right there, you have a 24-year age gap between them. And at the very least, just looking into their love story, you're looking at what might be, because they change the age throughout the years, a story of pedophilia. I'll tell you what their official narrative has been. The official narrative is that when Emmanuel was just 15 years old, he was a drama student at a school, and his teacher was Brigitte. And while he was very young, they somehow managed to fall in love. That would have made Brigitte way too old to be falling in love with a 15 or 16 or 14-year-old, depending on which article you're reading. But yes, apparently she was just so moved from his depth, this little boy's depth and the poetry and the way that he would write.
We got to remember, y'all, I know it sounds disgusting, and it is disgusting, but this is France. The French get down a totally different way. So it is what it is. Let's just
that they fell in love, so much so that the now first lady left her then husband, despite the fact that they had 3 kids. Okay, so that's the background story. Nobody cares. Doesn't matter. It happened so long ago. Now she's the first lady. We should celebrate her. No, some major update now happening. Major update. So let me tell you about how I happened upon this story. There was just an article that was published in the Daily Mail. Here is the headline. The proof France's first lady wasn't born a man. What? I was going, what? So I, of course, instantly read it, because what a bizarre thing that you're even needing to present proof that Brigitte Macron was not born a man. And embedded within the article, they showed 2 photos, and I'm going to show you right now. This is the first photo. This is allegedly Brigitte Macron when she was a little girl sitting on her mom's lap. But when I saw this photo, the first thing I noticed was that the person on the far left, the boy, that actually looks like Brigitte Macron. I'm taking you guys through my thought process. I saw this photo. I was like, it actually looks like she might actually be the guy. Maybe she's a dead ringer for her brother, but I don't see any resemblance there with the little girl. They showed the second photo, debunking another young photo, allegedly, of Brigitte Macron. What I thought when I looked at this photo.
That's crazy, because I want you guys to hear what she says, and I'll refer back to this photo. Just listen. Just listen.
But this looks way too new to be a photo of a 70-year-old when they were a child. Now, again, these are my thought processes. When I then read the article, there was no debunking whatsoever. They just were calling people that were saying otherwise far right, all the typical buzzwords, far right, conspiracy theorists, racist, sexist, it's homophobic, it's anti-Semitism. Just the thing that we are all now able to immediately look through. These names don't mean anything anymore. And that just makes me want to look further into the alleged theory. And I did. And holy smokes. So the quote unquote conspiracy theory is actually a 3-year thorough investigation that was conducted by journalists that were working with genealogists. It was published in 6 issues in Faits et Documents. I'm sorry, my French is not that good, but they published 6 issues unpacking what they had discovered after a 3-year investigation. And here is what they are saying, right? So again, I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what they have published. Their theory is that the First Lady, Brigitte Macron, was actually born Jean Michel. So Bridget is actually John Michael. John Michael lived as a man for 30 years, fathered 5 children, okay, and then transitioned at the age of 30 to become Brigitte. Okay, now.
All right, so whether this is true or not, let's consider something, right? Let's consider something. Now, we have to understand Jimmy Satterfield. Look at who it is, all right? We have to understand, what's up, Bob? We have to realize who these players are that are involved, right? And what we mentioned were those Zionists. We mentioned them people out of Israel, right? Or those that are heavily involved with Israel and their progress. All they got to do is say one lie. All they have to do is say one lie, introduce a little bit of truths, and you're involved in a mess. So Nano CBD, I see what you're saying that none of this involves anything, all right? You don't believe it. You think it's this or that, but how does this involve link to the level Earth? Good question. It all does, bro. I hear what you're saying. It all does. And let me tell you why. I don't know where the leadership is with saying where we are in this universe. I don't know where the leadership is. And what I mean by that, I don't know what the leaders of these nations, where they are in coming together, if they're congruent in saying that this earth is a flat, level, and equal plane. I doubt it. Now, here's the thing. Japan just sent folks a probe to the moon, they claim, which we know is bullshit. India claimed they did the same thing. Russia tried it. Israel tried it. Didn't work. The US did it. It barely worked. It landed lopsided. Here's the thing. If they're introducing this BS to us, right? They're showing us all these lies. And this is what my thought process is. They're trying to reintroduce the moon because as soon as they get to the moon, now they're going to launch people to the moon. And then from the moon, they're going to try and launch people to Mars. But that's the claim because so many people are starting to understand what this world is. What does this have to do with this? Well, like he's a world leader. He's a world leader. Now, Macron, you guys got to understand, and I think you guys are familiar with it, that a lot of people don't like him. His own people don't like him. He's like the French Joe Biden, except that he's cognizant of what it is he's doing, right? The French don't like him. We don't like him. Foreign countries, especially in Africa, don't like him. But the thing is he makes office all the time anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So now that he's still in office, I don't know when his term is up, but now that he's still in office and he's talking all this mess, you got to see that Israel is trying to get rid of him because he's talking sense. He's still talking sense. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go back to the vid for a little bit and then.
Now, I'm just going to show you this before and after photo, just right here. They actually used, as a part of their investigation, Chinese software. And this is a side-by-side. It is such a dead ringer. It's crazy to me that you would not say that these two individuals look alike. This is potentially the same individual age. So on the left, what I'm showing you is John Michael. On the right is a photo of the First Lady. Okay. Now, I will tell you why this has legs and why I'm going to encourage you to read the very long document that I read, which we will include in the link in bio. The first obvious reason that I am very much believing what they have published is because the First Lady is simply unable to produce any photos of herself throughout the first 30 years of her life. Guys, how easy to debunk this. If you say, Candace, no, actually, you lived as a man for 30 years. I lived for 30 years. I'm going to show you every photo of every year that I've lived. Here's me in college, right? Here's me while I was pregnant with my children. Here's me and my husband on our wedding day. There would be so many photos that Brigitte should have at her disposal if this is false. But they won't produce any. Nope, they're just calling everybody wrong and backwards and transphobic. Just produce the photos instead.
So shout out to Taboo Conspiracy for getting this video of Candace Owens and making this. I mean, bang up job finding this, and bang up job for Candace Owens too. Typically, I don't like her, but her producing this and bringing up good points. Where the photos? Same thing with NASA. That's all we ask for. You know what I'm saying? That's all we ask for are those same photos. Where the photos of this probe on the moon, showing the topography of the moon, and then at the same time showing what the Earth is looking like. Right? What does the Earth look like as we go around the Earth? Now, this is what I find crazy with the whole thing as far as how the Earth looks from the moon. I was thinking about this. If you guys notice, every night we get moonshine or we don't get moonshine. The moon is like in proximity of the Earth, or they claim the moon is in proximity of the Earth. But then 2 days out of the month, we get what? We get a new moon. Think about it. We get a new moon. With that new moon, or rather without that new moon, nobody has access to the moon at that point. Nobody has access to the moon. We can't see it in the United States. We can't see it in Australia. So the moon is gone. But then, is that the same for the Earth when the moon is supposedly revolving around the Earth every single day? Is that the same for the Earth? Because the Earth should have sunshine every time. And the thing is, it's not the Earth going around the moon, but rather it's the moon going around the Earth. You know what I'm saying? So now this probe has been shut down. This probe is off until, I don't know if it's broken, but this probe that the US sent, right, that company sent, it's off because the sun has pulled away from the moon and now it's on the black side of the moon, right? The front side of the moon, the light side, the one that we can see, is not projecting any light. But now we can see there's a quarter moon outside and everything else. So I don't think the US is made up for that. Either way, they're coming to what the moon is now. They're coming to the moon and everything is the moon now. Because now we've caught up with the CGI and we've caught up with the graphics to where we can bullshit the hell out of everybody. But here's the thing. I don't think it's working. I really don't think it's working, y'all. I seriously think that a lot of these people that are of the globe are starting to see the Earth now as, hey, this is probably it. This is probably it. So I'm going to come up with my thoughts with something that I'm going to show you guys, but let's go to the chat first. Right. Point is deception, NASA. World leaders, that's right. Deceptions are endless with these rulers, governments. They're collaborating together in space, stealing our money and souls. Yeah, and fooling us, tricking us. I think that knows. Just wanted to say, yeah, I got you. I'm sorry about that. I have to kind of explain fully and thoroughly. I know this famous Mexican beer door on effects. Put the words together. Movie. That's word. Oh, I got you. 2 times I got deleted. Oh, I got you. Ooh, oh yeah, yep. Leaders, Wives are packing scuds. They're packing scuds. Spice, yeah, that's pretty funny. Russia Space Agency is older than NASA. Yeah, because they did launch Sputnik back in '58, and they had something, a little rocketry program going on before that. NASA ain't first, guys. Okay, well, whatever. But NASA is the most prominent. We can agree that NASA is the most prominent space agency around. Whether they're bullshitting or not, they are. Nobody said first. Okay, good point. Makes billions on the whole space nonsense. Yes, they do. And they're stealing our souls and money. Well, that's something totally else. Yeah, they're stealing our money to the tunes of billions. And as inflation increases, their pay is going to increase. Their annual pay is going to increase. And so is the same for Israel. You know what I'm saying? The moon isn't fully dark during the new moon. The backside is lit. Well, unfortunately, William Tecumseh Sherman, you have to think of it like this. Nobody can see the moon at all. Nobody can. During new moon time frame, nobody can. Like, okay, I see what you're saying. You'll see an outline, you'll see like a shadow of it. No, but there's no, you have to remember that we see the moon every single night. We see some portion, and the whole world sees the moon. From Australia to us, the whole world sees this moon because it goes in a circuit type pattern. It goes in a circle. You know what I'm saying? So everybody sees it. And so even during the new moon, which is why we're saying, you know, their reason as to why we have a new moon is bunk. It's totally bunk. Why we have a new moon, we can speculate as to why. David Weiss thinks that the moon runs out of power. Some people think that the moon itself is some kind of a filter behind a different kind of light. Maybe the sun. But the Bible says, the scriptures say they're two separate lights altogether, right? But the fact does remain. But here are the facts with the moon. Here are the facts. The moon will give us a totally different form of energy than what the sun gives us. That's a fact. There's no hiding behind that. There's no BS. None of that. Hey, look at who it is, baby. My man, Ben. Welcome, brother. It's good to see you. It's really good to see you. And it's an honor to have you in here. Guys, make sure you sub to Taboo Conspiracy's channel. He's got some awesome content. And one of my go-tos every time he drops something like on top of it, just like that. But if you think about it, William Tecumseh, and welcome back, by the way. I didn't say welcome. Welcome, William. Okay, now, William, you have to remember, there's perspective, right? So remember, since Australia's on the other side of the equator from where we are, since we're in the north, we're looking at it as a 6, right? We're looking at the moon, for example, as the number 6. If Australia's looking at that same 6 that we're looking at, you're going to see that 6 appear as a 9. So that's why it looks upside down. You know, William Tecumseh, if you don't know that, then now you know. Hold on. America hates CGI, Ryan. 60 CG. Diana, what do you have? So, Rock, yeah. Thank you, Diana. Yeah, because he's got some awesome content. Moon is slowly turning red. Blood moon or something. That's a good point. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but on the 24th of this month, we're supposed to have a lunar eclipse. We're supposed to have a lunar eclipse. I wrote the times down. I don't know where I put it, but the 24th of this month, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to send you guys, I'm going to make a little video on it prior to the 24th. But I'm going to make sure that you guys get all the information so that way you can be present. You can have your telescopes and everything else set up. So, let's move. So just the other day, I came across something that I wanted to share with you guys, something that I feel maybe we shouldn't overlook strictly because there's a great following of this book. That book is the Quran, right? And so with the Quran, now I'm starting to look at it and not only look at the Bible, but I'm starting to look at other old sources that may tell us what the earth actually is. And let me show you guys what I came across. And this is something that I've heard. Maybe you guys can help me better understand it, but let me share this with y'all. Boom. And it's the earth being shaped like an egg. And this is what many people that follow the Quran, this is what they say. And it's in Surah 39, verse 5, and it states, He created the heavens and the earth truthfully. He rolls the night over the day. And who they're talking about is the Most High, or they call him Allah, right? And rolls the day over the night. He committed the sun and the moon, each running for a finite period. Absolutely, he is the Almighty, the Forgiving. And then you have this written in their handwriting, and then the Arabic for he rolls, and this is what they're describing, is derived from the Arabic word for ball. So if you guys recognize in one of the books in the scriptures, right, the Bible that many of us tend to follow, they have separately from circle, ball, totally different. But the Quran refers to the Yakuvir, maybe they pronounce it right. It's derived into Arabic for ball, or it's called Kura. This verse clearly informs us that the earth is round. Now, here's the thing, folks. I want us to get out of this habit as calling things that are round a ball and a ball round, because a lot of us and a lot of people could get caught up. If that's not you, then that's not you. But a lot of people say the earth is round when that may be factual, but pizzas are round, coins are round, discs are round. So now we have to make sure that we properly define roundness or we properly isolate those two. And we call it for what they think it is, and they think it is a ball. So even the people writing this, the verse clearly informs us that the earth is a ball, they should say. Since the earth is not exactly round, a specific reference to its shape is given in Surah 79, verse 30. The Arabic word used to describe the earth in this verse is dahaha, right? Which is typically translated as egg shaped. So shaped like an egg. And this is where it catches me on my blind side, right? As soon as I saw shaped like an egg and I heard shaped like an egg, one of the things that came to mind is a depiction that I saw. It's a picture that I saw. And if you guys look at the thumbnail, you'll see what it is that I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop that screen and I'm going to show you guys this right here. Right? I'm going to show you guys this, and this is what tripped me out. Boom, right here. So this is the Norse description of the earth, right? Right here. This is the Nordic description of the earth. Right here, if you notice, look at the tree. First, you have the tree, right? You have the tree of life, or Yggdrasil, in the middle. What do you have underneath the tree? Look at that. You guys call it. You guys call it. I'm not going to say it. I want y'all to say it. Y'all say it. X and turtles, yeah. Now check it out. Check that out. And tell me what it is you guys see. Okay, you see the tree of life, but what is the tree of life on? What is it on top of? Going once, going twice. Before I say sold, let me get a sip real quick. It's on top of a mountain. This is the tallest mountain out of all the mountains in the middle. You see that? The tallest mountain of all the mountains in the middle, or the tallest object of all the objects here. It is the tallest. Yggdrasil, This tree right here touches the firmament. So y'all see that? So if you guys, so now, like I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy smoke. There are a couple of things that run through my head because instantly, like it came to my mind's eye and I saw it. But one of the first more pronounced things is, what does the Bible say, right? In Genesis, the first thing, or actually on the second day, God puts a separation and he separates water from water. And we know the old Hermetic principle, as above, so below, right? So he separates water from the waters above to the waters below. Now you have, now my question is this, do we have two sets of water below and one set of water above? Because we definitely have our oceans, right? And you have the firmament being separated in the middle at the top. But what if then we have firmament underneath us? What if we have firmament underneath us? And now we know we have a dome at the top. This dome right here, this covering right here. But then what if we have the dome at the bottom? We have our oceans, we have our water, but then you have something keeping us from the waters outside the firmament or outside the firmaments. Does that make any sense? Are you guys following so far? And I'm looking at these little rivulets right here, right? These little rivers right here, boom, right? Yggdrasil, the bottom part of Yggdrasil. And then if you notice, you got these little serpents at the roots, right? And so I want us to count these out. So far, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some might argue that maybe even 6, right? So I'm looking at that and I'm paying close attention and I'm like, that does look familiar. That really does look familiar. And there's a lot going on in this picture, but it thoroughly describes, and I'm not even talking about the world serpent that's eating its own tail, right? I'm just talking about the tree of life in the middle. What if this is Rupus Negris, the tallest mountain in the world? What if that right there is the Rupus Negris that they're describing sitting, or on top, sitting, with Yggdrasil sitting on top of Rupus Negris right here, in the middle of the world, in the middle of Midgard, where we live, right? As above, this, and then you have below, then you got this going on. You've got the firmament at the bottom, you've got the downside firmament, but then you've got the top side firmament, right? You've got the ice wall. Look at that. You've got Antarctica right here, the ice wall. And then I'm looking at this projection right here. So I'm wondering if this is some kind of sunshine maybe. I don't know. Sunshine bouncing off of the firmament or going in circles. Maybe that's the Rainbow Bridge. That could be the Rainbow Bridge that connects worlds, right? The bridge that Heimdall stands in Guardian of. If you guys remember the Marvel movie with Heimdall, he was played by Idris Elba, the brother with the big sword standing at the Rainbow Bridge. This could be it, connecting both worlds, right? Right there. But then I want to show you guys something. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some would argue 6. I want to show you guys something else. Knock this joke out right here. Stop sharing that right there. And let me show you guys this right here. Okay. So this is something that this caught my eye. And then I'm like, okay, instead of making a video about this, I have to present this to y'all. Like, you guys need to see it. You guys need to help me figure this thing out, because at this point, I'm at a loss. Here it is, right here. So we have the firmament above. And God separated the firmament, right? Or he made the firmament to separate waters from water. So we have our water right here for us, but do we have something at the bottom? Does this complete what they consider the earth being shaped like a football or being shaped like an egg? Because the Quran says it's shaped like an egg. Is it the firmament that makes it shaped like an egg? Now this, I'm looking at this right here, and we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Now these are the waters. I don't know in the Norse description if they're showing, no, it looks like they're showing rivers, and these are more waters underneath. And right here, separated by the pillars of the earth, keeping this motionless and in place, right? The abyss, water, water right here. So then I'm wondering if this picture is incomplete. What if we do live within an egg, but on a flat plane? You guys understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that gyroscope. If you guys have ever seen that gyroscope that's like inside of a cage, and the middle of the gyroscope is level, and then you have the pole up top, and then you have the pole on the bottom. And the gyroscope, when it functions, it remains balanced. It basically is a drum that marches to its own beat, the gyroscope. So when you pull the ripcord on the gyroscope and then it starts to function, I'm wondering, is there any type of connection? You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the room. I'm going to go ahead. There. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this in here, the description box, family. I'm going to drop this in here for you guys, and we'll see what it is. But yeah, this is what I thought about. And like I said, instead of making a video, I wanted to see if I could bring it to you guys, and maybe y'all can help me figure that nonsense out, because that's a tough one for me. You know what I'm saying? So if you crack the egg, you get 72 virgins. See the tree of life. And on top of the tree of life, the Rufus necklace, or beneath the tree of life, the foundation is possibly the Black Rock. That's probably what they're depicting in the middle of Midgard, where we live, the earth. Right? Sci-fi cults claims they have all the answers. Yeah, no. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't. They're being led astray, and it's messed up. Yep, the ice wall. The ice wall, the big ring of ice. Just go over this flat level. That's right. It's the easiest way to say it. Yeah, I can't see other comments. Oh, guys are commenting probably on YouTube. So I went ahead and I dropped that. Global warming game. I hate you. But that's, like I said, this is what I came across. I figured I'd bring it to you guys, family, and then we can dissect it together, because I just find it so interesting. And of course, we have the days of the week that's a mix on. We have the days of the week that's a mix of both it's the Norse gods as well as the Roman gods, right? Saturday, Thursday, Monday, Moon Day, Tuesday, Martedi, Mars's Day, right? So on and so forth. Wednesday, miércoles, the middle of the week, and that would be considered, what's his name? Mercury's Day, miércoles, right? And then in the French, they would call that mercredi. And, in the romantic languages, they all jive up, but it's the gods, you know what I'm saying? The gods, or even the different names of the planets for the days of the week. So definitely there is a connection between the Christian faith, what we see as the Christian faith, as well as with the Norse myths, but the Christian faith also with what the Greeks had going on. You know what I'm saying? That's the Norse depiction of where we live, but then we have our biblical depiction of where we live as well. You have the Rupus Negris in the middle, and then on top of the Rupus Negris is you have the Tree of Life. And don't forget, y'all, don't forget, you got guys out there like Divergent, shout out to Divergent, that shows the old earth. And he shows things like plateaus in the middle of the United States, plateaus all over the world, right? But what are we told that plateaus are? We're told that a lot of these plateaus are, we're told that a lot of these plateaus that we see are what? They were made by volcanic rock, they were this, they were that, everything but what we're starting to learn that a lot of these plateaus truly may be. But we already know that it's not a lava thing or a spout from a volcano or nothing like that. But these plateaus possibly could be old trees, right? And if they're old trees, I'm going to bring this back to y'all again. I'm going to bring this back to y'all again. Because if they are old trees, let's bring that up. Okay, let me bring another one up. Bring another Norse picture up. Okay, because if these are old trees, right? Again, this is a different picture. Of course, this is a stock photo from somebody, so mea culpa for doing it. But this is a different picture, but this is basically the same drawings that we were seeing. Ice wall, the bridge, the rainbow bridge that connects the worlds, right? The different worlds. Yggdrasil, the world tree. And then the thing is that the world tree touches the firmament. The firmament is considered heaven, right? Because God called the firmament heaven. And then what did God do in Genesis chapter 6? Anybody? Anybody remember? All you heathens out there? All you heathens out there? Oh, I did not know that Santos Bonacci teaches that. But, okay, if you guys remember, in Genesis 6, chapter 6, God is like, I had enough. I'm getting rid of y'all. It's like an ostrich preparing its egg to be laid in the dirt. It's still flat. Yes, Earth is totally flat. Earth is flat, yes. But in what we're being told, is there some truth of things, of something being round or something being ball-like? You know what I'm saying, Ghost? Is there some truth in something being ball-like? So is it the firmament around us that is the egg, right? Because we know this right here. We know the terra firma is flat and plain. But this, what is that? What is this? And do we even have access to these regions of our realm? Or do we have access to what's outside, right? And why am I talking about Genesis chapter 6? Because what did God do? He got rid of everything on the earth, except with the exceptions of Noah and Utnapishtim in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Epic of Gilgamesh, Utnapishtim was Noah. You know what I'm saying? He was told by the reeds and the wind, hey, build a freaking ark, throw some pitch on top of it, here are the dimensions, throw your family and a bunch of animals on there because we're about to flood this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Genesis 6 says exactly what happens. But then you had the angels, you had the Nephilim, but you had their offspring here as well. This tree was probably here before that. But then what happens? You have Ragnarok. In the Norse myths, you have what they call Ragnarok, or their, I guess you could say, their end of the world. Before I continue, so Ragnarok, their end of the world. A couple of things happened during their Ragnarok, but let's go to the chat. That's right. CBD, Genesis 1:6. Yep. Thursday. Yep, that's right. I'm glad that you're learning something. I don't want to be coming empty-handed, family. I want to make sure that if you're not learning something, at least I can stimulate some kind of thoughts. We can discuss this amongst ourselves. Maybe you might have something I might have totally overlooked. That's right. Santos Bonacci is an awesome source of information. He's got also a Rumble page, a Rumble channel. So guys, we're gonna have to start kind of funneling over to Rumble because YouTube is cracking the whip hard on a lot of these channels. You know what I'm saying? So just keep your eyes open, keep your eyes on the swivel for more Rumble action going. It says, like an ostrich is preparing its eggs to be laid in the dirt, it's still all flat. Yes, Ghost, that is the truth. Now, here's another thing I want to run by you guys, is that the Quran came ages or years, like 1,000 years and change after the Bible. And the Quran actually refers to the Bible many times. And if you don't know, a lot of your imams that study the Quran backwards and forwards and basically memorize the entire text, they're also biblical scholars. So they're dual handed, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people that know the Quran very well and they teach the Quran, you have to remember, they know the Bible extremely well. And there's a very good chance that they know the Bible better than you and me. A very good chance. So that we can't forget. And God said that there be a dome in the midst of the waters. That's right. Let it separate water from water. So God made a dome and separated the waters that were under the dome. That's right, CBD. That's exactly what happens in the Bible. So you have this, like I said, that, or like the scriptures say, and then you have this. But then if you look, you have these rivers. But then if you guys refer to the scriptures, right, God opened up the windows that were up here. And I'm going to go there too. So let me get rid of that. And then I'm going to show y'all that. So they show that in these illustrations as well. See? So right here, those are the windows of heaven, right? So these are the waters. So when God flooded this place, he didn't just bring some rain down. The rain was just like seasoning to the whole thing. This was the chicken, this was the rice coming down from beneath because he filled the entire realm with water. So Noah and them, and they said it rained for like 100, what was it, 40 days? It like this was filling up with water for like 150 days straight. Something ridiculous. It was crazy. It was over the top. So the water went from here to like over here, something crazy. And then finally, they talk about how God shuts the windows of heaven and everything ceased. It was like 150 days. So 5 months. It was 5 months when they did this. Y'all know what I'm saying? It was 5 months. And so I think it was on the 17th. It was on the 17th day of the 7th month. If you look in your scriptures, it was on the 17th day on the 7th month where God stopped the waters. He stopped all the waters, or I think it was the 7th day or the 7th month. It was either he stopped the waters or the ark rested on Mount Ararat. Right? So if you guys look in your scriptures, you'll also see that. There was a particular day, the 17th day on the 7th month. Now, what we need to be mindful of is, was it the 7th month according to the calendars that follow now? Or was it the 7th month for the calendar that they followed back then, the actual lunar calendar? So for us now, the 7th month is July. But back then, the 7th month could have very well been September, right? So they say all this. They're totally saying all this. And then finally, the water begins to recede. the water recedes. It comes down, it recedes to where and what we have. And you guys know the end. God's like, you're going to do it like this no more. And then he shows the firmament through the screen, which the final result is a rainbow. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't hide any of that from us, but he shows us totally exactly what he's not going to do again. But if you see right here, you'll see it, the windows of heaven and the firmament. But like I said, I wonder if this drawing that the Bible shows is incomplete. What if it's incomplete and the right one is what we're seeing from the Norse myths? What if that's the right one? Because in the Norse pictures, I'm going to stop the screen right now. I'm going to go refer back to the Norse picture, right? In the Norse picture, it shows the earth as an entire egg. It shows the earth with firmament up top and firmament down below. So it shows all this. But it shows also water from the deep. It shows this water coming up into our realm. Well, we have water right here. We have our water that we all know of, we're all familiar with. And this is possibly the access, right, from which the water came up and ended up flooding from the bottom. And then you had the windows of heaven from the top. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. Yggdrasil, there may have been a very good chance that Yggdrasil was here at one point, because I think it was in Daniel chapter 10, where they say that Daniel had a dream, and then in the midst of the world, he saw a gigantic tree, Yggdrasil. He saw a big tree. Maybe it was at some time he saw a big tree, or maybe in his dream, yes, he saw the big tree. But what if God had his angels come down and get rid of this thing? So the fallen angels didn't have access to hold on to anything. This is where we have a lot of these things that are plateaus. We have a lot of these former trees that I don't know if Vice of Cosmos really talks about that, so I'm not going to put that on Vice of Cosmos. Divergent, if you don't know Divergent, make sure you subscribe. Divergent, make sure you subscribe to Divergent, right? He talks about the old world and us seeing what's left behind in this new world. I think that Arabic is translated. Spread out like an ostrich. It could be mistranslated Jew. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep a star on it. Like an ostrich's nest, excuse me. It's an excellent source of truth. Yes, Divergent is. And all he does is he just presents what, he's not necessarily arguing anything. He just presents what is. You know what I'm saying? But here you have water beneath, or what looks like a bunch of paths. It could be paths, but it could be streams. I don't know. You have water here, but then you have these waters here. But these could be, but they look like waters because you have water out here. You have the world serpent in the middle. And that world serpent, here's the thing. If you look at where the world serpent is, what if they're showing the equator? Because if you look, it's somewhat equidistant from here to here, right? What if this is the equator? And then you have this right here. But the world serpent, look at it. Or the world serpent is Antarctica. What if the world serpent is the Antarctic Circle? Now, but not so, because the firmament comes way out here, right? So what we see here appears to be an ice wall, right? A bunch of jagged mountains on the outside perimeter that we consider it to be the Antarctic Circle, as per this Norse drawing, right? And their depiction of what this world is. And then God sends, his angels down. They cut down these trees, these big trees. So them fallen angels, them giants, The giants from the past don't have anything to hold on to. They don't have anything to hold on to. So they're cutting down this. And it looks as if, what if Yggdrasil? What if, let's entertain the thought that maybe Yggdrasil is real, just real. Not that it's real to the Norse, that it's real to these people or that people. It's just a real thing. It sits atop the Rupus Negra. And now we have a direct access. We have a direct link with God. Because look at it touching the firmament. It's touching heaven. What if we have a direct link to the Most High? What if we have a direct, or at some point we had a direct link to heaven, the dwellers of heaven, right? And God could speak to us through the tree. It sends the information down through the mountain, and then it gets dispersed equally throughout the earth. Half warrior, hey, listen, I'm right there with you, bro. I am astounded with what the Most High has created as well. I think now that we're starting to see this world in a new lens with a new set of eyes, things are totally different. You know what I'm saying? And so we know the truth. Here's the thing. It's like we're in our own a little exclusive club, right? Where we know the truth and we kind of feel bad for those that are outside of what they think the truth is, right? Where they think all of this right here is curving. All of this right here is the ball. When we know this structure, the firmament, but we don't know about this structure, the firmament. What if is what I'm saying, right? And every day, like I'm flabbergasted with the stuff that you guys come up with, and I'm flabbergasted with the information that Vibes of Cosmos and Divergent present every day. It's crazy. It's crazy, and the thing is it fits, and it appears that it could be factual. That's the crazy thing, is that it's real. There's a very good possibility that this is real. And like, where does that take? Now, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Because the Norse saw the world as this, and there's a good possibility. Daniel mentions this. Nowadays we could see on the weather patterns something huge is basically separating the wind when the wind runs over the North Pole. Something huge. This could very well be it. This is the tallest joker out here. And what if that God sent his angels down here, chop these jokers down? This being one of them. Chop the trees down. There ain't no big tree no more. But all we have is the stump, the Rupus Negris. The Rupus Negra in the middle. And now it projects the sun and the moon, and we see them the way they are now. But what if they were different at some point? What if the sun and the moon that we got was different? What if the sky was different because of what Yggdrasil did? And if Yggdrasil is in fact a tree, if it is a tree, what do trees produce? Trees produce leaves. A tree this huge and this important might even change the makeup of the world and produce more oxygen. What if it produces more oxygen? The more oxygen something gets, the more oxygen it can take. And so the more oxygen it can take, the bigger that it is. Where have we gone? Where have I taken us, family? I'm not trying to take us to the Twilight Zone and we get lost or we get wrapped around our spokes. I'm not doing it. That's not what I'm trying to do, family. You know what I'm saying? But I want us to think about these things. I want us to take a look at these things, and I want us to actually think about these things strictly because I feel that there's so much information out there. that we have access to. Guyana Spice, the end goal, I don't know. I don't know. I'm putting these things together because I see them. And I'm mentioning these things to you because I see them and I'm thinking about this. And maybe there's a connection. Is there a connection? There is a connection between what they're calling a ball or what they're calling a sphere, spherical or egg shape of some sort. Is somebody telling the truth that's of the globe? Oceans, yes, but you see this tree. You see this tree right here? The trees produce, the trees are giving us the air that we breathe as well. These trees. Now, this is the biggest tree. This is the world's biggest tree. And look at all these leaves. Look at all this foliage. These giants had something to breathe on. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's crazy because like maybe these giants can't survive in our realm really because they can't breathe our air. Maybe we're not producing enough O2 for a giant to live. Maybe it'll suffocate. Hold on. We're bringing a guest on, King of Houston. Hopefully you can hear me, bro.
Truth shall set you free. That's me.
Hey, Truth, what's happening, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. I had a question to ask you, man. I'm learning so much from you, man. You know, because I'm now converting to flat Earth as well, and I've been watching your show and Judo's a lot. Now, that tree of life you're referring to right there, how long has that tree of life been in existence for?
So, the Norse myths has been around for, I believe, over 1,300 years now.
Wow.
So, as far as we're told, over 1,300 years.
Is this tree what's literally holding up the surface of the earth?
Or you talking about is the tree is what's holding up the firmament?
Yeah.
There's a possibility that it could be that, right? There's a possibility that the tree of life is actually touching the firmament as the picture shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying anything for sure. I'm not saying that. But there is a possibility that that's happening. Or, as I mentioned before, the alternative. There's a possibility that there was a tree of life. It got chopped down. All we're left with is the Rufus Negra, that stump right there that you see, right?
Sure.
And it was chopped down when God decided he wanted to flood the earth. So then that
Wow.
way, giants didn't hold on to anything because now we have remnants of what those giant trees were. We have plateaus. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you're familiar with the Divergent channel, but I highly recommend him. Divergent. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it in here.
Okay.
Divergent. Right? Put it in there, and I'm probably going to put them in the description box after this production. But if you check out Divergent has every single day he produces videos of the old world. He produces videos of cross sections of what people would call mountains, but it shows things that look like fat, blood. So it shows discolored cross section, as if you were to take a cross section of somebody's leg. It would show things that would look like muscle striations, coagulated blood, dried up blood, old fat, right? But we call it rock.
Wow. So,
Ghost, you be later. You be safe, brother. It's good to see you. Thank you for dropping on.
Good seeing you, Judah.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead and ask.
Okay, so where would we be standing at if you were to look on that picture? We would be standing somewhere near the
we would be on this green stuff. So this green stuff is terra firma, is land.
Okay.
Okay, the green stuff is land. That's how they depicted it. They didn't really go into full detail and make the continents appear. Or maybe they did, and I'm just overlooking it because I count 1, 2.
What's the circular thing around it before you get to the ice wall? There's a circle embedded around it. It's like
this right here, that daisy circle right here.
You know, before the ice wall. It's on
Yes,
the. You see, yeah, right there, and it's going around in
that
this.
is the world serpent. That's the world serpent. Some people call him Ouroboros. Some people call it geez, I forgot his name. The world serpent. I'll pull it up here for you here in a second.
Okay.
But the world serpent is the serpent that's eating its own tail.
Mm.
Yeah. So if you heard of the serpent that eats its Jormungandr. Jormungandr. So the serpent that eats its own tail is called the world serpent, and it goes around the earth. And so you'll see depictions of. I'll show you here in a second.
Okay.
You'll see depictions of Jormungandr, but it's a bald earth, and the serpent is around the bald earth. And you know, anytime I would see it, it just never made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I would see a bald earth, and I would see Jormungandr around a spherical ball earth as we were taught. But now when you look at the Norse description of what the ball earth is, it makes so much more sense. Because it looks as if the world serpent is keeping us from getting outside of him.
Wow. So the ice wall is what's stopping us from getting beyond that point, right?
Yes.
Do you think would you think it'll ever be possible that we could get past the ice wall? Like in the future, maybe with technology, or you just.
I'm thinking that there's a possibility that we already have access to much of this realm outside of what we know. But as far as getting outside of that ice wall, like I would be a liar if I was to say yes, or I was to say it's not possible. I don't know. This is what we're trying. This is why it's so important that we piece all of this together and we figure all of this out.
Fascinating if we could actually get past the ice wall and see what's beyond it.
Or maybe if we get past the ice wall, then we're going to come across issues like, the water beyond the firmament.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and then we'll have all sorts of problems.
And what's below the tree right there? You see all it looks like roadways below it, and
Yes.
what is all
And
that?
so it looks like these are rivers. These are rivers or pathways, right? And so here's what and I'm looking at that, and to me it looks as if that might be the waters below. The waters below, as depicted in the previous picture that I showed, where it shows the biblical cosmology, the biblical version of what they say the earth, the firmament, and outside the firmament, and below the firmament, Sheol, all that is. You know what I'm saying? In here, they show like the underworld and hell. Looks like snakes. Could be babies from this Jormungandr. Could be its offspring that's down there. You see these little snakes coiled at the bottom root of this bottom tree. But if you look, there's a connection between this and what many would consider Asgard. This would be Asgard at the top of this mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the rainbow, Asgard, boom, to the underworld, right here. It's wild. It's wild.
Now there's rivers and pathways, but if you look where the tree is planted, it looks like there may be some land there.
Yeah, there's more land. Yeah, that's part of the underworld. That's part of the underworld.
And imagine what's living on there. Could you just imagine what's on there?
Here's the thing, Truth. We don't even know what the hell's going on here. We don't even know. Japan just last year found 7,000 new islands that they didn't even exist. 7,000.
New islands?
new islands last year.
Yeah.
They found 4,000. So we're having a hard time trying to figure out what's going on here. And like all this stuff looks great, but like I seriously need to figure out, we need to take our time and figure out what's going on here. Why are we here? What's happening here?
Interesting.
Does this egg hold any water? Apparently it holds water back, pun intended. But does the myth of what the Quran says about the egg, is it the truth? Does it make sense? Right? And this looks exactly like, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll show you guys this right here. And then you see this? You see how this has a north pole?
Yeah.
And then you see how this has a south pole, I guess you could say, right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is this? This is like a big old disc in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Let me show y'all something. Stop sharing that. Let me show you this. Look at this. See that?
Oh wow.
It's a gyroscope.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm wondering if there's a correlation. Like I look at it, and to me, it's saying it makes sense, but why does it make sense? This is the earth, the firmament above, Rupus Negra, and the tree of life as above, and all this, so below. All that. I don't know.
Here's a trick question I want to throw at you. You know, you go to the ocean, you have like the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Pacific.
Right.
Some people say that there's like an underworld underneath it. Like they say if you travel far, like they have like,
Under the water?
yeah, like under the water. Like if you go deep enough, they say there's territory down there. Like there's like another world under there. Do you believe that? Or do you think it's impossible?
I could tell you this. We have fish that live down there.
Yeah.
We have fish that live down there. And all right, now I'm not going to try and take you guys off topic, but
Okay.
a lot of different cultures believe in mermaids. You have Nigerians in Africa, they believe in mermaids. Haitians, you're right, goes to Judah tribe, by the way, they have their own mermaids, right? But all these cultures believe in mermaids, and where do they reside? They reside in the deep. They reside in the deep.
Interesting.
Right? And so since they reside in the deep, there's possibly another world that we don't know about. Now, that's a good question because we have, I don't know if you saw it, but here, I'll show it here to you in a second. Let me go and get this joker up. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Zippity doo dah. Where is it at? It's here. It was here. Where is it at? Nope. Nope. There it is. Boom. Okay. I'm going to show you this and then we'll zoom into it. All right. Now, here's a picture of what you guys are used to seeing with the Urbano Monte map. Right?
Okay.
So if you hadn't seen this in Houston, this is one of the maps that we refer to as far as seeing what the world looked like according from a city. So right here you have Africa, right?
Yeah. All right.
South America, So this depicts the world perfectly. You got South America, you got North America, you got Middle America, you got Europe, you got Asia, you got India, right? And then so on and so forth. If you look right here, I love how they got rid of this. Oh, I love how they got rid of this. But if you look at that. This probably is where, if you look at this big water here in the middle,
Yeah.
that's where the Norse saw themselves. You see this water in the middle?
Yeah.
That's where the Norse people probably lived, or the people before we came. That's where they lived before Ragnarok. And you see where this banner is right here?
Yeah.
That's probably where Yggdrasil would have been. But if you look, this is Greenland right here. I think, let me make sure. Okay, so the prime meridian is here, somewhere-ish. Goes through here, goes through England. This would be Greenland, I think. Pretty sure. This-ish would be Greenland, right?
Yeah.
Being like right here, that's where all them fools would have lived, man. All the Nordic people would have lived right here. And if you remember that picture that we were looking at, all of that was this land, this territory right here. Hyperborea, a lot of folks would call it. Hyperborea, and it's split up into four pieces. And it's got all these rivers that run through. This is the Urbano Monti map from like 1587, right?
Wow.
And to go back to what it is you were talking about, or what it is we were discussing, sea monsters, merman.
Yeah.
Merman.
Whoa.
Probably more merfolk right here. I don't know. I don't see any breasts on this one, but it's probably a merwoman, right? Mermaid. You've got, this thing is just so over the top. You got more mermen, right? Look like they fighting each other, and looks like merman and a merwoman, right? Gonna spend some time. You got sea monsters all over this place. Now the thing is sailors just don't make pictures just to make pictures. But back in the day, they would draw what it was they saw, right? So based off of where they were, that's what they drew. If they saw lions, they draw a lion. If they saw sheep, they draw sheep. If they saw centaurs, that's what they drew. If they saw something that looks like a stegosaurus or one of those dinosaurs with the scales on the outside, that's what they drew. If they saw thunderbirds, that's what they drew. That's what they drew. They drew what they saw. They drew what they saw. And so let me rotate it one more time. There it is. You tracking so far?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's where the mermaids and sea monsters is. That's pretty cool.
But here's the thing is, but look at this right here. See what that is?
A pterodactyl.
It's either a pterodactyl, some folks call it a thunderbird. It's an elephant that grabbed.
Whoa.
This is stuff that they saw. They put and they displayed on these maps everything that they saw and where on Earth they saw it. So they're like, yeah, don't be careful if you're over here, man. You might get snatched up by a thunderbird.
What is that pink thing to the left of it? It's if you go to the left of it, it's like a monster of some sort.
Zip.
I think it's to the left of that bird.
Right
Yeah,
there.
not that one, the next one over. No, you're in the right direction. You just got to go one more over to the left. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It looks like a merman with half his body submerged.
And that's something that they've witnessed.
This is stuff that they witnessed. And also, you have to remember, guy Christopher Columbus was out to sea a lot, right? And so Christopher Columbus mentioned what he saw. And even in one of his diaries, or one of their diaries, talking about Christopher Columbus, they said that he slept with one of these mermaids, right? And so you have scientists these days that are coming around saying that, oh, that's not what they saw. They only saw, You know, they only saw things like manatees, stuff that we see today, stuff that we don't see that stuff what they saw back then, we don't see that now. So we try to equate it to what it is we see now: manatees, dolphins, beluga whales, you know, so on and so forth, crocodiles, alligators. That's what we see.
Mm.
But back then, these guys wrote down what it is they're looking at. I'm just an old looking funny dude anyway. Let's go to the chat real quick, guys. I am not neglecting you.
Go ahead.
All right. So yes, humanity is awakening to the truth. Now, ancient people knew the waters produce life, oxygen, and drinking, and more. Yes. Hence, the Bible focused on the waters above and below. Yes, this is true. But the things that push the oxygen that we breathe are the trees and the plant life. And spice. So let's not forget. You know what I'm saying? Genesis begins with the waters. Yeah, no. You're right. You're right. The water is important for people, but also the spirit. Totally. Dr. All right, bro. It's good to see you. Shannon Emerson. This is not in our lifetime. I want airships back. Yeah. And that's the thing, is if we were to get airships back, it would allow us to travel high up in the sky, but at the same time, we can level out and we can see what's just below us. And we can take our time and map it out. We can take our time and look at these things. You know what I'm saying? Shoreline, not ice wall. So technology gives man some nice things, but just look at ancient structures still exist. That's right. That's right. Lord knows what kind of technology they had back then, right? Saying ice skirt because man goes beyond the ice skirt. Yeah.
She was funny when she said that. Shannon said, "We can't be caught peeking under someone's skirt."
Or having our hand up the ice shirt. I like Shannon's joke better. Cover up, just speak. Yep. So Indian art in temples, yes. Yes, have dinosaurs and more. Yep. Telescopes before the Greeks, yes, that's true. India had Aryan migration and invasions, that's true. The Indians were very, very advanced. They were the ancient ones. But yeah, hey man, hey half, I do my best, brother. But I'm with you, man.
I mean, because you said Christopher Columbus witnessed a lot of those creatures and stuff, and not to mention what other people have done explored, right, in the world and witnessed. That's why they have like the creatures at different parts of and that's just within the ice wall. And just imagine. I mean, and the speculation. If we saw this in the ice wall, just imagine what's on that other side.
On the other side, yeah. But here's the thing: is that we were lied to so much about here. Like people can't even see outside of their own state. So the governments of the world have us right where they want us. You know what I'm saying? Stupid, docile, dumb, soft, weak, ignorant, you name it.
Facts.
Many of us.
Emotional.
They have many of us here, right, that are actually finding the truth, that are figuring these truths out, and that are starting to see that this world is a lot more than what we think it is. And every week we get together, we're starting to see new possibilities. Right? And here's the crazy thing is that our leadership is starting to expose their hand every day. Look at what happened with Macron. The reason I mentioned Macron is because basically he's setting himself up for the okie doke. He's setting himself up for the leadership is starting to quiver. They're starting to quake. They're starting to open up their mouths and talk about things that they normally say things that they normally wouldn't say. Right? Okay, so look up at New Zealand, the giant birds, the moa, the eagle has folklore. Yep. People discovered the Flores Island. That's true. Yep, the earth is totally unexplored. We still haven't figured it out yet.
I was wondering if around America, if you could show the map of America real quick and see what kind of creatures they got there.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Just want to see.
Yeah, not a problem. So right here is the U.S.
Okay.
Then right here is, this is Florida right here, and then right here you have the Tropic of Cancer. So that's as high as it's going. So let's do what you said, and let's look.
And the map on here looks way different than the map you see in your geography book.
Right in the geography map, yep. Yep. Really don't, it's not too much. You have this big.
What is that sun right there? What does that mean when you have the sun right there?
Right here? Oh, this is just a tropic. So
Oh,
you
okay.
see how these are equidistant right here? Within here is where the sun is. So you see right here is the sun. That's the Tropic of Capricorn. Right here.
Ooh.
That's as far as the sun comes down, and it's December time frame. Right here is here. Right?
Okay.
And then right here is the Tropic of Cancer. So this is as far as the sun will go. The sun is going to sit in June, the sun is going to sit here in March, and the sun is going to sit here in December. And then, yeah, it comes up and down, making its circuit, going a big giant circle.
Whoa.
Cancer is shown by this crab, or the crawdad right here, this lobster, because the symbol for Cancer, as you already know, is a crab, right? And then the same thing, you have the sea goat for the Capricorn, right? Right there. Sea
Wow.
goat.
So those zodiac signs mean something.
Totally.
Yeah, because I'm a Cancer, so I was born in June. So you just mentioned that too.
Yep. So somebody mentioned Levante. I think Guyana. Guyana, you mentioned Levant earlier. I remember seeing you mention that. Joking have. Guyana Spice, you did mention Levant. And I was wondering what you were talking about. Those things on the map were real. It would be terrifying to see. They'd be absolutely terrifying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because all those things are huge. Those are like giant size. Those are king size creatures or whatever you want to call them.
So where would the ice wall be at on here?
So at first we thought they were here, the ice wall, but then there may be a chance that they're just outside here. There may be a chance that they're outside of here, what they're not showing on this map.
Oh, wow.
Is this, and then it should be outside of here. Because right here is Terra del Fuego. And Terra del Fuego is part of South America. Still around South America, but yeah, it looks like Urbano Monti might have just run out of paper.
And what's all that territory right there? What's all that territory right there that you're at?
Terra Gallega.
Oh.
Terra Gallega. One of these is Terra La Lacache, Terra de Lacache. Right. This is Brasilia. So I'm thinking this is.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's a lot more territory that we haven't even discovered yet.
There's a lot more everything that we haven't even figured out, man. It's crazy. There's a whole lot of this stuff that we just like, and I'm looking at this map and I'm wondering, could they have removed some stuff? Like, it looks as if they removed some things from this map that they're just not showing us. They're not showing us. Right here is your equator that shows the balance between the two tropics. This is the balance between the two tropics. So coming up would be March time frame, and this would be Pisces to fish, or Aries, I guess you could say, transitioning over and then terminating as Cancer right here, but on the way back down, it turns into Libra, the scales. You understand? And then continuing from the scales into Scorpio. I think it's Scorpio, yeah. It goes from the scales right here and it makes its way down. It goes from Virgo to Libra, and from Libra on down to Capricorn. Capricorn
Wow.
coming up. Yep. So, like, what I would recommend, man, is you get a map like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it in the description box here. A map that you guys can have like this. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the description box, and then I'll show you where to get it, and you guys can download it. Also, there you can get a Gleason's map. Right, getting a Gleason's map is very important. The Levant region. For example, Gobekli Tepe, and Tepes have ancient birds not existing now. Yeah, Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds, I remember. So that's what we got there. Let's see. Stop sharing that. Okay. And so what you should get is this map right here.
Okay.
I'm going to show you. Like I said, family, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop this in the description box. So after this production, you guys can have access to it.
Sounds good.
Let's see. Right there. No. That's green. Where's this thing? Hold on. There it is. Nope, can't access the screen. That's nice. That's healthy. Let's try it again. Nope. Let's see.
Now, of course, they say the Earth's been around for millions of years. Do you believe it's been around for millions of years? I know that's, an iffy question to ask because we really don't know, but
I really couldn't tell you.
okay.
I would say if somebody's making that claim, it's not because they're testing the rocks. And if they're positive on that, there are other people that know things about this realm that we live in that they're not telling us. But we're going with the official narrative that this Earth is a ball. Meanwhile, we could see the Earth doing something else, shaped a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they're letting us fight amongst ourselves. Meanwhile, those at the top have a good grasp on what this place is. This is why places like Kiribati, they have access to Kiribati, and we don't. The ice wall, Antarctica, they have access to the ice wall at Antarctica, and we don't. This is why you and I can't go there, but other people with the need to know, with money and with power and influence, they can go there and probably beyond. So they know and they understand the nature of where it is we live. And so this is why this world, us at large, this is why many of us are so confused. Not all of us, right? A lot of us are starting to understand, and we're coming to grips with what this world is, and what this world is not. Right? But there's something that the ancient Egyptians / the Greeks said. That is, man, know thyself. I guess you could double that up and say, man, know where the hell you live. Right? So the thing is many of us, we really don't know what we are. We don't know. We don't know.
Mm.
We don't know. A lot of us think we're from monkeys, right? But we've already proven that to be false. A lot of us don't know. That's fine. We don't know. We're trying to figure that part out.
Wow. Some people say we're like fish. We originally were fish in the sea, and then we grew gills, and then our gills came off, and then we crawl like lizards. Because the tail, like the tail end of our tailbone, points out, which indicates that there was a tail, like a reptile.
Mm-hmm.
Some people believe that. I don't know if you believe that or not, but
no, I don't believe it. But at the same time, I'll entertain dang near anything, because now we're coming to the truth of what this world is not.
Mhm.
Megadeth is back. What's going on, brother? And let's go to the chat real quick.
Yeah, let's go to the chat. Yeah.
Those things on the map were real. Yep, that's right. I totally agree. Japan caught it. Yeah, we catch giant squids all the time. Humboldt squid is one of those giant squids, and they have
Whoa.
hooks inside. Yeah, they have hooks inside their tentacles. Discovered 7,000 islands full of it. Yep. Birds on Gobekli Tepe and Tepes. Yeah. Have ancient birds not existing now? Yeah. Yeah, Gobekli Tepe is by Turkey, which is funny that you mentioned Tepes, because by Turkey is Romania, and Vlad Tepes is Dracula, right? Vlad Tepes, the old Romanian king, son of the dragon. Quite a connection over there. Guys, you're making right there. Quite a connection. Levant region. Levant means something. I forget what though. Levant, Near East. Okay. I was just saying it needs to be controlled by our interests. By West, we aren't perfect, but better than an alternative if Israel wasn't in control. I don't know. I don't know about that. Because as soon as that cocoa shop came out, everybody's trying to wipe us out. That much I'm convinced about. The 1892 map, I think it's a Flat Earth Banjo. Yes, Flat Earth Banjo does produce one. He produces many different recent maps with different things on them that we're not normally seeing. You know what I'm saying? So he has people building those maps for him that way. And I'm back. Back to some of the stream. Hope everything has been going well. Yeah, it has been. You missed a little bit, but just make sure we talked about the egg Earth, the Earth shaped as an egg, but not the terrestrial Earth, but rather the firmament, heavens, right? Outside heaven, making up what a lot of people would consider as the Earth, and making the ball of what the Earth is. Yeah, you missed out, Bus. I can't say I'm missing the stream. I feel you. Megadeth put so far, you probably know what was discussed. I'm in and out trying to find chats. Yep. Thanks, guys. To be back, listen to what I missed. Yep. So yeah. So we spoke about the egg Earth according to the Muslims. They depict the Earth as being an egg, or God spreading the Earth out like an egg, right? And showing pictures of what the Norse considered our realms to be. You know what I'm saying? So the Norse showed our world to be egg-shaped, or our worlds. So the heavens, the hells, I guess you could say, or the underworld, and where it is we live. And where it is we live is a big giant disk, right? Big giant disk. So,
Do you think the ice wall is trying to protect us from what's on the other side, or to keep us from going to the other side?
you know, I don't know. I don't know. As far as the ice wall is concerned, we've seen an ice wall, but they don't make any mention of that region anymore. They don't make any mention of those places. Nobody really talks about them now. We saw videos and we saw pictures of walls 200 feet high at that area, and they just go on for miles and miles, right? And so that's the Antarctic Circle, and everyone has drawn and depicted the Antarctic Circle. As a matter of fact, it's page 27 in Captain James Cook's voyage. In his second voyage, he talks about reaching the 65th, it was actually the 73rd parallel. Yeah, so it was the 60th parallel. He went 13 degrees further in longitude south, right? And so when he got there, let me show you where that's at.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Let me show you. So in his, come on. So in his voyage, oh man, I'm gonna have to close it and then open it back up. Hold on. This thing's a pain in my butt. Okay. bring this up for y'all. Lord have mercy. Okay. Let's see if I can bring it up elsewhere. Do I have one here? Actually, I think I'll do you one better. I'll bring up ArcGIS. So basically Google Earth. I'll bring that up. And so they show where he went. He talks about in page 27 where he went. And in page 29, he continues with basically, we're going to conclude our voyage because we can't go any further. All there is ice. We've been here, we've done that. We've done this for 3 years now. And all there is ice. So where are we at? Let me bring this up to you. All right, let's present, share screen. Right here is ArcGIS, right?
Ooh.
So here's South America.
Yeah.
I think you got like the Georgia, I think it's a Sandwich Islands, stuff like, yeah, this is South Georgia Sandwich Islands. Right? Hopefully it's a Reuben, I prefer Reubens myself. So right here is the 60th parallel. And if you look, you have this peninsula right here, right? This is the 60th parallel. That's where Captain Cook went. He continued another 13 degrees south, right here.
Captain Hook went all the way down there?
Captain Cook. Sorry. That's okay. So he was right here. James Cook, excuse me. Then he goes around. This is all he saw. This is how they claim the world is. This continent right here. But it's not. And look, he just traveled around this world, naming everything he could see. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, it's done. He's like, we explored everything. He's like, we explored everything. And then right here, where you see the shelf, it starts to shelf up and it starts to get a little bit more shallow. He encountered a lot of ice. He encountered ice. Ice, and he couldn't break through it to get to here. So this is what he saw. All this.
Just another expansion almost.
Well, no, it's just territory.
Do you think Antarctica is can anybody live on there, or is it just too cold?
You know what we're told is that it's all frozen. This is what we're told, and this is where I don't want to act as if I know everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about what we're told and what we know as far as the Earth is concerned. And what we know that the Earth is not a ball, and that they're BSing to a degree, and that we've seen the ice wall, right, as depicted by a million different people, right, and that this couldn't possibly be a continent, one singular landmass, as we're being fed, as we're being told. So let's go to the chat. Focus on this. It's on dating. Continuing with, maybe, yeah, I saw some commercial with him. Forgot what brand, Hennessy. Yeah, the one with Nas on. Recently too, yep, commercial just only a few months ago. Yeah. Where did you lose your gills? So, yeah, there is. That's how Captain Hook, or Captain Cook, excuse me, now you got me calling him Captain Hook. That's what he depicted as the world, just the ring around it. But then we call it a big old ice mass, big old, continent at the southern pole. There ain't no southern pole. There's no southern pole as we think. But as I showed with Yggdrasil on the top, sitting on top of Mount Meru, right, or Rufus Negra, you had one underneath what the gyroscopic plane that we were sitting on, right? You had something down below. So some interesting stuff we covered today, some pretty interesting stuff. But let us please go to, where is he? Let us go to what's around. Don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss it. Now, I know David Weiss and them, they're running the show right now. And promised to come through. Oh man, David Weiss got to be somewhere around here. Oh man, I wish I could have seen it. I wish. Oh, there it is. I think this is it right here. So David Weiss and then there it is.
Okay.
Are we on? Are we watching? Are we tracking? Is it on? Okay. So David Weiss again. We're gonna drop in and we're gonna say hi. We'll see what David Weiss again is doing.
Up those links, and one of them is NASA going nowhere in 1959. Watch that, and you'll understand how they keep kicking the can down the road. We're supposedly sending some humans to the moon in 2025. Guaranteed, they're going to kick the can down the road. As a matter of fact, just today, they came out with an article saying it may be too dangerous to send people back to the moon. Even though we did it 5 times or 4 times, whatever number, in the 1960s, we played golf, we drove dune
with them.
and it's too, and that, but we can't do it now in 2024.
Let me see you back.
Look at the evidence. Put down your ego. Let your childhood ball
I think they didn't go back to the moon for
So
different
it looks
reasons.
like this guy named
Why? Because there's
Sean-
aliens on the moon?
Sean,
Yeah.
Warned off.
he
Yeah, there were,
thinks
so I believe that too. We have no evidence of that. I think the moon is a plasma. It's here within our Earth system, right?
Whoa.
During the day, when the moon is in the blue sky, we see blue through the moon, and at night sky, it's we see black.
Good point, Dave.
Right?
Wait, say that one more time. I didn't pay attention to this. Do you have pictures?
I'm trying to pull up a picture of it.
Let me show to Dave too.
We have it over here. Moon.
So
Where is it? Oh yeah, right here. So whatever color the sky is, the craters take that same color.
that's true.
It's pretty weird. Black, green, blue. The moon, when you look at the moon with an open mind, not an indoctrinated mind, during it's in the day sky, the blue sky is behind the moon. It's obvious. It's obvious.
Yep. He's right.
Wait,
It's
so the blue
amazing,
sky is behind the
No
moon?
specular highlight. No specular highlight ever on the moon. Every sphere has a specular highlight, right? We don't even know if the moon is a sphere. $38 million back in 1960. It's a bunch of beach chairs, an umbrella. Okay, nonsense. And $37 million, even with inflation, for this bad boy today. Okay, come on. It's a money laundering scheme for dark budgets, for black budgets. It's for the elite. They're just stealing money from the American people and the Japanese people, not the Chinese people. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Let me do some research.
You know what they don't have?
in 1969 we got to the moon in 3 days,
Google.
but in 1922 it takes 6 days to
They
get to the
don't have
moon
any
with the
pictures.
same stupid rocket. This is a balloon.
They don't have any
filled with
pictures
helium.
of the crescent
filled with
moon
helium.
Stars going through it. They don't have that anymore, actual ones. I don't see it.
6 days to the moon.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so why are they going such different speeds? Why is all of that? Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Let me do additional research, especially on Antarctica. I just don't think it's impossible. I just think it's impossible for.
I don't know if you'll be able to find the video on YouTube. It's called Sorry, Antarctica's Closed by Taboo Conspiracy. But if you can't find it, just send me an email and I'll send it to you. And then that'll help you with your research. Don't believe anything that I tell you. Don't believe anything. Verify everything yourself. But he did all the work for you. He'll show you everything that he did. It's about a 30-minute video. And then at the end of it, you're going to be like, wow. That's what you're going to be like, wow. All right.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
All right, Samuel, thanks for everything. Good luck, and discuss this with your colleagues, and they're going to talk you right out of it. Don't Google it. You're going to just find nonsense, and then it's easier to believe what you believe than to know anything at all. Belief is the enemy of knowing, right? Belief is easy. You believe I'm in Connecticut. You believe whatever. It's easy. You don't have to verify anything. Knowing time and effort. You seem like a guy that wants to know, so good luck. All right, man. Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, well, I guess David Weiss and them had their joint going on, and it sounds like that dude don't believe the earth is flat at all. He don't. But it's interesting to see that, it's interesting to know rather that I don't know if they teach that in Chinese schools. If they teach that we landed on the moon, that the United States landed on the moon. So that's interesting all in itself. But China apparently is one of those countries that landed on the moon as well, if you guys know.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that the moon is inside, like in other words, like the sky goes beyond the moon. So when we see the moon, it's not in space.
So no, space as you know it, and space as we know it is not at all what it is, right? So
Okay.
space is out as what we're talking. No, that's all bull. Like this vacuum that we just go out and then we could go to these distant places that are billions of miles. That's all lies, man. That's all lies. And we've proven that with all their CGI, caught them with their CGI, right? We've also proven that based off of how things work here on Earth, we can't replicate the distances traveled based off of the type of atmosphere that the Earth wouldn't have, or that the astronauts or whatever's traveling through there would have to endure. We can't replicate that on Earth. So the most we can replicate on Earth is 10 to the negative 6 torr, right? Pressure wise. We can't replicate 10 to the negative 17 torr, which is supposed to be where the moon is. We can't replicate that vacuum. And so with the vacuum that we can replicate, we would do at the Sandusky lab in Ohio. And it's got walls upon walls of thick concrete and iron and steel in order to replicate a fraction of 10 to the negative 17 torr. Right? We can replicate 10 to the negative 6 torr. That's the highest we can go. So then that means that the astronauts that went out into space in order to go to the moon, they couldn't make it to those places that they claim to have gone because of the conditions that would have been apparent out there. And to the negative is the lack of atmosphere, right? So with that, they didn't have the equipment in order to survive that type of atmosphere. With that, you have to think a space shuttle is a bubble, right? So you're essentially sending a bubble into a vacuum. And then as soon as you do, what do you expect to happen? It's not going to make it, right? So you're sending bubbles inside human beings, and we have gas chambers everywhere, and you name it. We can't make it. Not to mention the Van Allen belts. the thermosphere, the exosphere. We can't, no, it's all lies. We can't do those things that they claim. Truth. This is why you need to do your due diligence. You need to study these things. You need to know. You know what I'm saying?
So, in your expert opinion, outside of the atmosphere, what do you think that is? That's just that darkness you see at night with the stars.
And it's horrible. As far as I know, it's horrible. I don't know. And that's right, Mr. Jones. Welcome, brother. And now, I want you to look at this. There's nothing, right? You can't push off of a vacuum. You can't even create combustion in a vacuum. You can't, because you need some kind of air. You need some kind of oxygen. All propulsion stops in a vacuum. Absolutely.
Interesting. So, what do you think the moon is, in your expert opinion?
I don't have an expert. I'm not an expert, right? But I can
Well, in
tell
your
you
opinion.
I can tell you what the moon isn't. It's not. I can tell you what the moon isn't giving us. It's not reflected sunlight. I can tell you that in my actual true opinion.
Okay.
It's not reflected sunlight. And you could. Here's the thing. You could run that experiment yourself. You don't need me to do it or anybody in the chat to do it. You can do it all yourself. You can do it all by yourself, just like that song said. You can do those things in yourself. And so when I did it, the thing is, the moonlight's supposed to be reflected sunlight. Right? This is what we were all taught. I'm no different than you and everybody else in the chat. We were all taught the same thing. So reflected sunlight is supposed to give you some amount of heat, right? Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
So with reflected sunlight, and we're taught that the moon gives us reflected sunlight, right? So
Yeah.
then if I measure moonlight, I'm supposed to be getting some amount compared to the shadow, correct?
Yeah.
Instead, when I measure moonlight compared to the adjacent shadow, I'm getting significant temperature change in the opposite direction than what I think I'm supposed to be getting.
Oh, interesting.
You're getting a drop in temperature as opposed to an increase in temperature in moonlight. You're getting a drop in temperature.
Wow.
Yeah. And I promise you, I never would have expected anything like this, because I'm like, first of all, it's light, right? And so I'm thinking all light gives us some kind of heat. And with it being moonlight, it being reflected sunlight, it's supposed to be giving us some amount of heat. And it's, especially since it's like not as much light, it's a lesser light. It's supposed to be, I thought it would give us just less heat, maybe not as much heat as sunlight, but heat nonetheless.
Yeah.
It shines a cold light on us. That much we can prove that. You know what I'm saying? We can prove that. And by the way, Mr. Jones and Megadeth, we're going to have a lunar eclipse on the 24th of this month. We're going to have a lunar eclipse. So keep your eyes open for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, what's this? If the sun is 93 million miles away, I want a globe to show us parallel sun. That's right. You're not going to get that, because all we get are corpuscular rays, which we can triangulate back to the source. This is all true.
I was just about to ask you what you think the sun is.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can only guess, and I can only speculate as to what it is. But what I did do was I mentioned that the sun and the moon, two totally different lights, right? But they could be shining from the North Pole. They could be shining from the North Pole at its projected energy. It bounces off the firmament and then shines back down onto the earth. So it's information shot from that tree area where Yggdrasil is, bounces off the firmament, comes back down to us. And it works like the way a parabolic antenna works. It functions the same way, and I made a video on that like 3-4 videos ago. It functions the way a parabolic dish would work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way a parabolic dish is you have the bowl of what the dish is, and in the middle you have the We have the feed horn. The feed horn would shoot information on the bowl, and then it would reflect information off and transmit that information into free space until it hits something that's going to receive the information. Yes. Yes.
I like Shannon's comment. If you go and find hers, she
Shannon.
yeah, that one and the previous one. She gave an interesting perspective.
She's right. Supposedly the average temperature is negative 455. No way they have the equipment. Nothing could, yeah, nothing. And if we have batteries, the batteries would just, no, they could. Especially spacesuits, yeah, there's nothing that we have at this day. The moon is the feminine light. That's right, Mr. Jones. The yang and the sun is strong and life-giving. The moon is the opposite. That's absolutely it. That's absolutely it, Mr. Jones. Look out. Yeah, keep an eye out for that eclipse. It's the 24th of March, average temperature in space. Exactly. So Megadeth continues with Shannon. That's the facts. Also know the amount of temperature changes they supposedly go through as they travel through space, exactly. And all those different layers of space, they're gonna burn to a crisp. The extreme changes in temperatures.
Wow.
We live in an electrical system. I think the rotation of the firmament, the sun, and the moon powers up everything in cycles. I agree. Yes. The new moon resets the cycle.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even think about that. But we're just getting out of a new moon like 3 days ago, we had a new moon. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like that. We just had our new moon. So it resets the cycle. Yep. They will probably spray all the sky. Exactly. Yes. Shannon Emerson, right on the money. Yes. I'm thinking because everybody's concerned about this eclipse that we're supposed to have on the 8th of April, that they're going to do their best. Because today even I saw, it's going to be cloudy in some places looking at this eclipse. And so I'm like, are they going to spray that much, or is it just because April showers bring May flowers and we're just in the shower portion of that dang little poem? You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, is it truly going to be cloudy in these places, or is our sky going to be just covered up with all that stuff that they spray in the sky? You know, boron or whatever it is.
Did you read her comment where she said, I kind of think the moon is a projection of some sort and a lunar wave is like a computer glitch? It's kind of further up in the comments.
No,
Shannon left. I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Emerson. Yeah, I heard of this, but the thing is that, like, it very well could be. It could be. And she's right. We do see the things like lunar waves. Well, not lunar waves, but they're waves. And then they'll ripple across what you see. That's the moon, right? The projected moon.
Yeah.
Lightning strikes, fertilizes eggs, then it looks like a fish, then a tadpole, then a monkey. It emerges from water, and you're a man. Yeah, that's right. That's all cat. That's all cat.
Damn, she's intelligent, man.
Yeah, Shannon's on the money with shit, man. So I can speculate as a focal point of light. Yes, I can see that. Yeah, and so the sun, you can replicate that. The sun being the focal point of light in the sky, sending electricity to the earth. Yes, completing the circuit. Mr. Jones, the thunder echoes on a dome. Mad Max, Thunder Dome, Truth in Plain Sight. Yep. They've been spraying it so much lately. Overall, just controlling the weather. 60 one day and snowing the next day in here. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Sun is the cathode and the moon is the anode. Yep, right on the money. Yes, they spray like crazy there in Arizona, like everywhere they spray. But in Arizona, you guys get clear skies. So I could see them being crazy with the spraying in the sky. Yeah, rainbows are reflections of the dome. Double rainbows, colors are inverted as if, that's right. Like all this stuff that these guys are saying. See, we have a pretty smart audience. And so everybody knows, like, we're getting jiggy with what the secret is of this realm. Right? And so people know what this world is not. That's what it is, King of Houston. So we know what this world isn't, and we know it's not at all. The rest we're starting to piecemeal together. We're starting to figure out and we're piecemealing together. So let's look at that again. The anode, the electromagnetic realm we live in. Yep. Yep. The positive and negative in the battery, the sun and the moon. Money. Right on the money. So, family, before, yes. What I wanted to send you guys was this thing called Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot. Okay, so if you guys want to grow food, if you guys want to grow veggies, fruits, just herbs, spices and stuff, look into what they call Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot would run you around like $400-$500, something cheap, right? Well, not relatively cheap, but it's not super expensive. $400-$500. It's basically a self-sustaining irrigation planting system, right? Little greenhouse in your home. You can buy this thing. Go look for Torpedo Pot, right? And I think it's torpedopot.com. Go look for the Torpedo Pot. This will help you. If you're not much of a green thumb, it's okay. It'll help you grow your food. It will help you grow your food. And in these times we're living in today, I mean, get all the help that we can get. Get all the help that we can get. If you have a green thumb, God bless you. But if you don't, Torpedo Pot, look into it. Sea level, earth level, let's see. Sea level, earth level, airplanes fly over the earth plane zone horizons and horizontal 180 degrees. Yeah. Totally. Yep. Now, one of the things also that we need to remember is the depiction of that gyroscope that I showed. You know what I'm saying? So let's remember how that gyroscope was shaped. You had the ring above the gyroscope. You had the ring underneath the gyroscope. And then you had the gyroscope planed out in the middle. Right? So let's not forget that gyroscope. And that's exactly how the Norse folks depicted the world that we lived on. It looks exactly like a gyroscope.
I'm just curious, who first discovered that the Earth was flat? Was this been discovered a long time ago, or is this just something that's?
This is something, not that the Earth was flat, but that the Earth was just the Earth. The Earth was just plain. It was Isaac Newton that made the claim that the Earth was a globe.
Okay.
Well, no. I take that back. It wasn't Isaac Newton. I think they claimed it was Eratosthenes. I apologize. Eratosthenes, some Egyptian mathematician.
Okay.
They claimed that he said that the Earth was a globe, and then, yeah, long story. But it's nonsense that we learned in elementary school, high school, and in college. The Earth is a globe, and then we've been running ever since, and running in the wrong direction, unfortunately. The plane's artificial horizontal is a flat horizontal line. The moon is like a battery charging up and discharging exactly. When it's waxing, it's taking in energy and charging up to a full moon. That's right. And when it wanes, it's discharging its energy until the cycle starts again. Exactly.
It's almost like charging its own cell phone with its own built-in charger.
Its own thing, yeah. So it's funny that Megadeth is saying that, because like nobody followed Eratosthenes actually. But Megadeth, it's funny that you say that, because I'm thinking with our technology that we have with the solar power, that we should have a lunar power as well. So basically, like one of you guys mentioned earlier, to complete the circuit, it should be a positive, an anode, and a cathode, just like it functions in a battery. But we would have our own stream of alternating current. We'd have our own source of power with a solar panel and a lunar panel. And we'd never skip a beat. We wouldn't have to worry about things like rectifiers and anything else like that. Or, things to help power inverters Right? We wouldn't need that because we have a lunar country, but we don't have that. I don't know if it's because it hasn't been made or if it's, I don't know what. I don't know why, but we should have one. We should have one. But nobody followed Eratosthenes. I think some people did. I think we do. The great circle route proves the earth is flat. That's right. And that's what it is. The great circle route proves earth is flat because planes fly in straight lines and not in arches. That's it. And pilots start to come out and admit this truth.
Wow.
That's what it is. Turn 90. Hey, Guy the Spice. God bless your dad. Happy birthday to your dad, Pisces. Happy birthday to your dad. He was starting the British public school.
Damn, 94. Holy wow.
His siblings living told me the same. In British Guyana, it's so up to 1940 at least, it was taught flat. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, Guyana Spice. So he was taught that. So true. 24/7 energy collection from 2 luminaries. That's right. Maybe the controllers of the world have that tech and they don't want the general public to have it. That's what I think. That's what I think. If the earth is ball, every direction away from the observer should be curving. Exactly. And also, guys, if you look at how the current lunar probe, the one that we launched from the United States, if you look at how they try to show the earth, like they show Earthrise from the current lunar probe. They show the moon as being curved while it's sitting on the lunar surface. Instead of being a flat, yeah, exactly. They're crazy. So it says right here, I'm trying to get my aunt to record it. It's taught. Dad won't get involved. That's okay. That's all right. Get your aunt. I think that's totally important. Thank you, Guyana Spice, for that. Yes, and welcome to the family. And please, yes, if you can get that, please, I would love to hear your aunt, and I would love for her to show us, to teach us that. Yes, we were taught like her. Absolutely, yes, Guyana Spice, please, if you can do that this week, tomorrow, next week, listen, I will make you and that the topic of discussion for next week. Absolutely. Mentally and physically great too. Born in 1930. Flat Earth taught in 1940. Don't believe God is acting. Heliocentric model was taught. And God bless your dad for making it to 94. Mr. Jones.
Yeah, that's a long life.
The higher you go up, the more exponential the curve would get. Absolutely. We lose it. Absolutely. The higher you are, the deeper the curve. Also, the Earth would not rise to high level as it does. Absolutely. Right. Read Mr. Jones. And if Earth's curvature existed, there would be no flat Earth. Exactly, because we would be wrong at every turn, or every turn of the curve. Notice I did that. If someone was standing on the moon, they would have to look up at the Earth and not straight ahead. Absolutely, because the Earth would look like a ceiling to the moon, to the dwellers on the moon. Thanks, y'all. He's religious, keeps him healthy. Yeah, totally. Very smart, very wise. Anyway, YouTube and Rumble family, I'm going to have to call it a night.
Yeah, 2 hours, 23 minutes.
4 hours and a half in the hole. I truly appreciate you guys.
Hey,
of Houston, truth.
We got to bring Shannon on here one day. She's got to come on here.
Shannon, you got to come on.
You have to, baby girl. You got to.
Family, you guys got to come on, and you guys got to make it a thing too. You know what I'm saying? I dropped the link. Don't be coy. You know what I'm saying? I got my big old nose in here, all up in the camera. I got some decent internet, and so if I drop that link, man, yo,
even if it's just 5 minutes, yeah. You
know what I'm saying? If you froggy, jump. You know what I'm saying? So I'd love to have you guys on here. Kenya Houston, I actually have him on. Thanks, Kenya Houston. Truth Shall Set You Free is his name.
That's my YouTube channel. I do live streams too, but I've been doing mainly lately I've been dipping in the crime rate in Houston. So I've been, talking about, the cases been going around, with missing kids and stuff. So I've been covering that lately on my channel. I kind of dip into different avenues. I do relationship talks. I do, flat earth. I cover politics. I do all types of videos, traveling, stuff like that, hiking videos. Yeah.
I'm going to sub to your channel, man. I'm going to sub to your channel. I did not know that you had all that going on, but I'm definitely going to sub to it, man.
No, yeah, I do a little bit of everything, and yeah. So I've been dipping into the crime rates going on and covering stories, kind of like CSI type stuff. You know, I've been going into that lately. So
Okay, yeah, man. Hey, guys, if you have the time, definitely, and even if you didn't have the time, definitely subscribe to the Truth Shall Set You Free, his channel.
Mhm.
Right? Make sure you subscribe to him. That's his name up there, King of Houston. But
yeah, you just put Stephen Rose to STEVENROSE, and it'll pop up with my link.
Stephen
You'll see a
Rose.
Texan logo. Yeah, I cover that too. So I go into a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure you sub to him and Megadeth anytime, brother. Anytime. And
Hey,
Ice
before we
Spice,
go, man,
I
I just want to say,
appreciate
man,
you.
something about your voice, man, is very soothing. Like when you go into the breakdown and everything, I just feel like I can listen to you for hours. I don't know why.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody tells you that.
yeah, man. You got like you know that ASMR, like where people like will crackle things and make you go to sleep. Like you got that voice that's
Oh,
just soothing, man.
that
It's
white noise
contagious.
voice. I appreciate that, man. Shit, man. The ladies like it too, man. The ladies like it too. Except for my ex-wife. She don't like that. My ex-wife, mad as hell at me, man. She always mad at me. Anytime she hears me, she's like, want to hit that joker right in this big old bell pepper nose, boy. Ex-wife be getting mad as hell at me, man. She always mad. Stay getting mad. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, though.
All right,
It's
man. Well, I
all
guess
good.
we'll go ahead and end it here, man. Appreciate you for
Yeah.
having me on, man.
You got it, brother. It's good seeing you, man.
All
And
right, good.
anytime, I'm going to be here next week, brother. Love you,
All
man.
right.
Be
See you
safe.
next week, man.
Peace, brother. So, family, back with my big old nose all up in the screen, shining terribly. I'm gonna fix this up, y'all. As I progress, as I get better with this, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it big. So, roll call, family, roll call. We'll go through this, like it's an episode of Romper Room. I'm glad to see that y'all came out. You guys are like the sunshine of my life. So Nano CBD, props to Nano CBD, always in the house every week, making it a point to make it out here and bless us and to give us some love. Guyana Spice, our new guest, latest and the greatest. Thank you for coming through. Guyana Spice, also, please don't forget, come on through with that information from your dad and your aunt. I would love to learn and I would love to see from them and see what it is they had to say. Megadeth 777, always coming through with the heavy stick. You know what I'm saying? Megadeth 777. We have Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones always doing his thing. Mr. Jones always coming through. Mr. Jones, half warrior, as usual. You already know what it is. Half warrior doing his thing. Shannon Emerson. Shannon Emerson always making a grand entrance, and she's always doing her thing. Mr. Pesos. Mr. Pesos got to come through. Of course, we have the one, the only, the Ghost of Judah Tribe. He always comes through. And our big time guest, man. I always get lucky, man. Every once in a while, not always, but every once in a while, somebody cool comes through. And it was Taboo Conspiracy. Taboo Conspiracy came through and blessed the page tonight, man. That makes me feel good. That always makes me happy. Dirk Von Franz. I hadn't seen you in a while, Dirk. And I'm happy to have you tonight. Thank you for coming through. And every once in a while, you have to have somebody shitting on our show. And that was, but before I talk about him, I want to talk about Brian Cash. Brian Cash, brother, thanks for coming through, man. And I'm glad that you came through. Thank you. Thank you, Brian Cash. You had, what's that dude's name? What is up? William Tecumseh Sherman. William Tecumseh Sherman comes through every once in a while, talking all his mess. You know what I'm saying? And he'd just be a wet blanket from time to time. It's all good. Every once in a while, it's cool. I think William Tecumseh Sherman is starting to learn as to what the true earth is. But the thing is we shouldn't have to shit on him all the time. But let's bring these folks into the fold and let's show him what the true earth really is and why we're looking for the truth. We're not trying to lie to anybody. We're not trying to cover anything up. We're trying to expose things. And the more truths we come across, the more questions there are. That's true. But the more at ease we become, right? To me, the more exciting it is, the more truth we come across. So that's that. Dirk Von Franz, brother, always a pleasure. Shannon Emerson, like I said, always a pleasure. CBD, Jimmy Satterfield. Hell yeah. It's always a pleasure, man. This brother's always here. The Ghost of Judah Tribe, Jimmy Satterfield, every Friday. So, guys, if you don't already know, please subscribe to the Ghost of Judah Tribe, where on Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have Flat Earth Friday. A lot of times I show up late. Sometimes I might not show up, but oftentimes I'm there. So you guys know what it is. You guys know who it is. And that's the Ghost of Judah Tribe for Flat Earth Friday. Make sure that you subscribe to his channel. He also covers things like politics, Chicago Bears, and other crazy things that happen. So definitely, it's been an awesome night. You guys have been an awesome crowd, and I'm glad that you guys offer me the support and the love that you show me every single time. Every single time you guys give me a chance. 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, a million times over. Anyway, YouTube and Rumble family, I'm gonna come out of here. I got to go eat and get in. But thank you for bearing with me tonight, and I'm gonna come at y'all with some new stuff next week. Promise. With that, I wish you guys nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. And with that, please make sure you join us again on True Earth Tuesday next week with your man, I'm 2000. Wish you nothing but the best. With that, love you. I'm out. Peace.